You've been hacked. No, not your bank account, not your Best Buy account, but your brain. Welcome to another episode of the Muddy Waters podcast. I'm your host, five-time published author, Philip Macko. Thank you for joining me. Why do we fall victim to scams? It's not because we lack intelligence. Ask the project finance attorney in Boston who was scammed out of over $2.5 million. Ask the mother of three from St. Louis who was scammed out of $5 million. Ask my friend whose ex-husband, a former COO for a sizable company, was scammed out of $400,000. No, it's not because we lack intelligence. Study after study has conclusively shown that we as human beings make decisions between 70 and 95% of the time. We make decisions based on emotion that we later justify by fact. Last year alone, over $10 billion was lost due to fraud. And it's not because the victims lacked intelligence. It's because scammers are excellent at manipulating emotions. And we're going to look at exactly how they do it and why it works in this episode. The limbic system is the part of the brain that controls emotions, behaviors, motivations, and memory. It's located deep within the brain, below the cerebral cortex and above the brainstem. The limbic system, interestingly, is one of the oldest parts of the human brain, evolving around 250 million years ago and essential to human beings' survival on the savannah. Especially true in phishing scams, the emotion that scammers prey upon is fear. Fear, along with excitement, anxiety, and stress, causes the body to release adrenaline. Your blood pressure rises, your heart beats faster, your breath shallows. Your mind narrows in on what it perceives as a threat, causing you to experience a temporary loss of situational awareness, which means inattentiveness to the other things going on around you not associated with the perceived threat. The part of your brain responsible for reasoning and judgment, the cerebral cortex, is impaired, which in moderate to extreme cases can cause memory issues, attention challenges, and disorientation. Phishing scams are all about creating fear. Your account's been hacked. Your computer's been hacked. Your account's been stolen. Your loved one's in jail, and you have to take action now. And there comes the adrenaline dump. And remember, adrenaline releases, that feeling of fear causes our cerebral cortex to be compromised and gets in the way of rational thinking. So when you feel that panic and fear, take a deep breath, pause, don't take any action. Remember, it only takes one mouse click and several keystrokes to lose your identity. Don't believe me? Ask the 1,036,000 victims of identity theft from 2023 alone. Though less in number of victims, the amount of money lost in investment scams is staggering. The FTC estimates $4.6 billion was lost in 2023 alone due to financial scams. This number is up 21% over prior year. Whether you view greed as an emotion, as a state of being, or as a character trait, one thing is for sure: it's a powerful tool in the scammer's toolkit. Whether it's appealing to greed, whether it's appealing to your unhappiness with your current situation, the envy you have for others, the fear of missing out on an opportunity, the dissatisfaction you may feel with your station in life, and your desires to improve it, whatever that may be, that appeals to the brain's reward center, the limbic circuit, which releases dopamine when actions it regulates are taken and experienced. Dopamine release leads to improved moods, better executive function, better sleep. That's the good news. But dopamine is commonly referred to as the feel-good hormone. That's a misnomer. It doesn't actually make you feel good. It makes you want to do the thing that made you feel good again and again. And that's something scammers count on. You make a little money, and then you invest more, and then you make more money, and then you invest more. And each time there's a dopamine release, and it wants you to feel that feeling again. And that's when the scam is occurring. Just as when you begin to feel love, you begin to show empathy to another person, you begin to relate to someone else, you feel that feeling that makes you feel good because you've helped another human being. You've loved another human being. Ladies and gentlemen, romance schemes are all about oxytocin. According to Cedars-Sinai and Cleveland Clinic research, oxytocin acts as a chemical messenger in your brain, influencing your levels of trust, your social interactions, your romantic attachments, and yes, your sexual arousal. It operates in what's termed as a positive feedback loop. What that means is the release of oxytocin leads you to take actions that cause your pituitary glands to release even more oxytocin. Over 64,000 people in the US alone fell victim to romance scams, losing over $1.1 billion. They thought they were falling in love with a beautiful, attractive stranger, a handsome man, someone living a life that they always wanted to live. How did they get tricked so easily? As Roxy Music rightly said, love is a drug and I need to score. Said differently, according to Cedars-Sinai research, love, kindness is a chemical. When we feel sympathy for another person, say someone we formed an online relationship with who is or whose family member is experiencing hardship, when we empathize with their situation and eventually help them in an act or in multiple acts we perceive to be kindnesses, we're becoming drug addicts and we're building an addiction to oxytocin, commonly referred to as the love drug. In today's video, we looked at 3 emotions that scammers prey upon: fear, greed, and love. In a following episode, we're now going to look at how they employ these tactics. Principles of dark psychology, and there are 5: gaslighting, triangulation, projections, moving goalposts, and the gas pedal brake pedal effect. And we're going to look at all of those things and how these emotions are triggered and played to by scammers. And listen, my whole goal in this video and all the other ones I've produced is to keep you safe. I hope you've learned something from this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found it engaging. If you did, if you liked it, please click the thumbs up button on YouTube. Please share it with someone who can benefit from hearing all of these tricks emotionally that scammers can play. And please do subscribe and tune in to the next episode. Looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much for joining me.